Hi, I'm Rocco Stano, and welcome to StoryMakers. Today we have with us Aija Mayrock.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and you are the author of this book called The Survival Guide to Bullying, which is sort of a self-help book for what age group kids would you say?
8 and up.
8 and up.
Yes. I have people reach out to me who are as young as 8 years old and as old as 56 years old who have read the book. Yeah. A lot of people feel like it helps them deal with the issues that they kind of had to deal with from being bullied on into adulthood. So.
And you are currently a sophomore at NYU here in New York City, but you wrote this book. How old were you when you wrote this book?
I started writing it at 16 in high school because there was, I mean, I had been terribly bullied in middle school and part of high school, but one day I saw on the news this 16-year-old boy that committed suicide, and something about this suicide just hit me, and I realized that I had to do something about bullying. I couldn't just sit there and let 13 million American kids every year be bullied. So I started writing a book. I had no idea how to write a book. And then this past October, I self-published it as a little ebook.
You say this October of 2014.
Yes. October of 2014. I self-published it as a little ebook that I just wanted kids to be able to get and use. So I made it $4.99, and I was just really trying to help kids. And then I was very lucky that Scholastic came along. What a dream come true. And now it's in print. So
when it was an ebook, there was a story in Publishers Weekly about your ebook. And that's how Scholastic really learned about the book.
Right.
Yeah, and so my question is that is there more information in this book, or is this your complete ebook?
No, a lot of it is similar to the ebook, but there is more information. We deleted a chapter. We added a wonderful chapter called Getting Help, which is all about talking to your parents and teachers. And it doesn't have to just be in the traditional way of sitting down. It could be writing a letter or drawing a picture, because I know from my experience, I had a hard time talking to my parents, and I want every kid to find their own unique way of having a conversation with their parents. And then I also had it vetted by the most wonderful woman named Dr. Deborah Temkin, and she works with the U.S. Department of Education and the Obama administration on anti-bullying policies. So she read the book and just made sure that everything was really solid.
When she vetted the book, was it you or Scholastic that actually reached out to her for vetting the book?
I actually gave Scholastic her name because when I had self-published it, there was an organization that she was aligned with, and I had done some research on her, and she was fascinating to me. So.
The actual layout of the book is really quite unique, with the actual fonts here and the different color text. The blue text tends to be things that people really should focus on. And is that correct?
Yes, thank you. I really wanted it to look like a kid's notebook, something that you could kind of grab bite-sized information from and basically skim through. So if you're in the bathroom stall crying, you can grab a nice bit of information to help you kind of get out of that situation. So I worked very closely with the designers to create something that was really user-friendly and like a kid's notebook.
The beginning, there are several chapters in the book, and each chapter starts with what you call a Rome, which is, can you explain what a Rome is?
A Rome is a rap poem. I listened to a lot of rap music when I was being bullied, and it really gave me strength and confidence, and I wanted to create my own kind of rap music for kids to listen to, so I created these Roems about my story.
And so, can you present or recite a Rome for us?
Absolutely.
Okay. Which one are you going to do?
This one is called I Knew Fear. It starts my chapter Fear, and it's about fear. I knew fear when I lost all hope in the world and in trying to cope with the brutality that became a normality, with the backstabbers and the games. I tried to figure out who to blame. Was it my fault? Was it fate or my weight? Or even the fact that I wanted to create a life for myself where I could be the person that I was too ashamed to be at school. So I feared the world, because who would I ever be if I wasn't cool? I knew fear when I believed what the kids were saying to me, when they told me I wouldn't achieve or succeed or be anything I wanted to be because I was a nothing and I was disgusting. So I feared myself, because maybe Beauty and the Beast wasn't just a book on a shelf. I knew fear when the kids that I thought were my friends betrayed me to such an extent that I questioned humanity, but mostly myself. Why was I the only one sitting at a table by herself? I spent so much time alone that I felt like I may be living in the Arctic zone, and anytime someone spoke to me, I jumped because I had been so used to being an absentee or guaranteed bullying. But suddenly I realized that it was my fate to be catapulted with words, tortured and harassed without being deferred to an easier life. Even though it took many years to see the light at the end of the tunnel, I had to suffer to realize that I am tougher than who I thought I was. I am better than who they told me to be, and I am braver than I could ever see.
That's very impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, are the other Romes, have you performed the other Romes? Are they available on the internet?
Yes. This one specifically I perform a lot because it's kind of the perfect time frame. But actually, I recorded my own audiobook, and the audiobook is out there, and all of the Romes are recorded on that.
Oh, okay. You have a chapter on getting help, and specifically in that chapter you discuss parents.
Yes.
And so how did you approach your parents?
You know, I have the most incredible parents, but I didn't know how to communicate with them. I was ashamed. I was scared that the bullying was my fault. So I really didn't tell them. And when I did tell them, it wasn't the complete story. So if you don't have parents to talk to, there are so many other people, like I talk about in my top 5 list, that you can go to. There are always people there to help, but it's just about figuring out who they are and making sure that you get to them and you have an open and honest conversation with them. So in Getting Help, I list a variety of ways that you can have a conversation with your parent or guardian or just anyone that you love and trust, whether it's writing a letter, drawing a picture, writing a poem. And then I also mentioned that, you know, they might not understand what bullying is the first conversation. They might not understand the effect that it is having on you, and that's okay. You know, you can have more conversations, and over time, they will understand and they will help you.
Yeah, so one type of bullying is cyberbullying, and so some suggestions on how to cope with cyberbullying?
Yes, so cyberbullying is probably, I think, the most dangerous form of bullying because it's 24/7. It used to be that you go to school, you're bullied, you come home and you're safe. But now you come home and you're not safe because people can bully you on your cell phone, computer, anyway. And also it can be anonymous, which is really scary because then you don't know if it's one person bullying you or 500 people bullying you. And that was something that I dealt with a lot, cyberbullying. And I didn't really tell my parents until there was this one moment that it was just so awful because the cyber world is this very complicated, very large world. And most kids don't tell their parents what they're doing on the internet. The internet is a wonderful place with so many possibilities, but there's also a side to the internet that really can easily facilitate cyberbullying and create really scary situations for a lot of kids. So in my book, I talk all about privacy settings. So you need to know the privacy settings on your social media like the back of your hand. Mm-hmm. Know who's your friend, who can see your posts, is anyone friends with you that is anonymous, you know, is anyone following you that you don't know who they are, and really make sure that you have a very private, very safe cyber life because things can get out of control very, very quickly. I also talk about analyzing your cyber situation and knowing when you're being bullied and what to do. So I have 2 options that I think work very well, which is going dark and going semi-dark. So if you're getting cyberbullied, and I have lots of quizzes on figuring out if you are being cyberbullied, then do you go dark or do you go semi-dark? For example, semi-dark is when you temporarily disable the social media platforms that you're being cyberbullied on. So I like to think of it as a little vacation away from social media because, like I tell my readers, you are your own #1 priority. Don't ever put yourself in a situation that is not safe. And then going dark is just canceling out for a period of time, another little vacation, but on all of your social platforms,
Right.
until you feel that you're safe and you're comfortable to go back online.
What can people do if they know someone's being bullied?
If you see someone being bullied, the most important thing is to stand up for that person, to intervene in that situation and not be a bystander. So whether that means you're going to directly stop the bullying or you're going to go to get a teacher, whatever you feel comfortable with, whatever your gut tells you, do that. But, 50% of the time, if someone intervenes in a bullying situation, that kid being bullied will never be bullied again. So it's a great thing to not be a bystander. And then in terms of just being a student and trying to help people who are being bullied, I think that being part of this culture of kindness where you include the people that might be bullied or the people that are isolated, that can change a person's life.
So before we say goodbye, how about one more room?
I've heard people say that life is a roller coaster. Just when I feel like I've gotten closer to something more than being a soldier in this battlefield we call school, as we're told to live by the golden rule, when in actuality we're surrounded by so much brutality and expected to get straight A's, to turn in essays and amaze not only the school but a college somewhere who could care less that I can't focus, that I can't progress in school because I'm surrounded by people so cruel, that I don't know where I am, what world am I living in, when did I even learn what was on this exam? These are the lives of so many kids just trying to get by, getting used to getting F's because they can't take a test when they've just been beaten by their classmates and stumbled in to take their test still out of breath. And how many F's can you get until you decide to forget about all of those dreams that used to seem so possible? Well, I will tell you something, they are still possible. No grade nor bully determines fully who you are, who you will be. You foresee your own future. You have control of your dreams, and although it seems like all of those gleams of light have been put out all right, I can promise that you have the ability to reignite and take flight into your future life.
That was wonderful.
Thank you.
And remember, until next time, give a kid a book in any format.